The 7 best tips to help you prepare for your VA compensation and pension examination. I'm John Tucker, and I'm a veterans disability attorney. I represent veterans all over the country. And today I want to tell you a story about a gentleman that called me. His name was Harold. Harold was a Vietnam War veteran, and he had been to a compensation and pension exam, a C&P exam, and it didn't go well. And I'd like to give you some tips so that you don't find yourself in the same situation Harold was in when he had to call me because his claim was denied. First, the most important thing that you can do is understand why you're going to the C&P exam. If you just filed a new claim, VA is trying to determine if your disability is service-connected. That means they're trying to determine if something happened to you in the service, if you have a current medical condition, and whether those two things are connected. That's called a nexus, and that can be one of the most important things about a C&P exam. If you filed a ratings increase claim, meaning you're already rated but you want a higher percentage, you no longer have to prove service connection, you just have to prove how severe your current condition is. So understand what that doctor is going to be examining. Second, make a list of problems related to your claim, so that you can bring it in and give it to the doctor. It will help you think about what's wrong with you. It will help you get it clear in your mind, particularly since you know why you're going to the exam from tip number 1, and that doctor hopefully will put that in your chart. I'd suggest you make a second copy and keep it, so later on you can tell the VA that you gave the doctor a list that looked like this, and the doctor didn't put it in the chart if that happens. It will also allow you to keep things in mind like your symptoms, your limitations, your side effects from medications. All of those things matter. Third, read your records. Take a look at your own medical records. Know what that doctor has looked at. They're going to be asking you some questions, and sometimes it may be helpful to refer back to the doctors that have treated you. Fourth, when you go to the exam, bring someone with you. They may not let someone come in if you're going for a mental health exam, but very often with a physical exam for a part of your body that was injured or a disease that you have that's caused a disability, they'll allow you to bring a spouse or a friend in with you. And sometimes they can offer additional information about your symptoms or limitations that you may not think about on the spot during the exam. Fifth, this is kind of straightforward and simple, but know where you're going and get there 30 minutes early. The absolute most important thing you can do with a C&P exam is show up. If you skip it, your claim will be denied automatically. So go. Sixth, answer the questions that are being asked. Don't volunteer a lot of information. Don't think you're there to make your case. You're not an attorney. You're a patient that day, and you're answering questions. You may think you're volunteering helpful information. You may think that doctor doesn't want to listen to you. But if you just answer their questions, you will have a better rapport with the doctor. Put simply, they'll probably like you better, and they'll be able to interact with you better. And finally, when you leave, my recommendation is you go back to your car and you write everything down you can remember about that exam. You write down the time they called you in, how long you spent with the nurse, how much time you spent with the doctor, the time you left, and everything from the time you went in to the time you left. Everything you can remember, write it down. Questions asked, what you told them, what your friend or your spouse told them, what they touched, what they examined. You may need those notes later if you end up with a C&P report like Harold that didn't go his way. Why am I telling you all this? I don't want you to end up like Harold. I don't want you to have to call me, the VA disability attorney, to help you with a denied claim because of a bad C&P report. Of course, if you get a bad C&P report and your claim is denied, call me. I represent veterans like you all over the country every day. I'm John Tucker. Thanks for watching.